Recently, satellite images from the Zaliv shipyard on the disputed Crimean peninsula has shown that progress is underway on Russia's first post-Soviet carrier warship program, namely the first of two Project 23,900 Ivan Rogov class amphibious assault ships, which saw their keels laid in 2020. New images show major progress on the ship's hull, in particular over the past 2 years, with the lack of flight decks or an island being the major remaining parts not yet added. With an estimated displacement of 140,000 tons when fully loaded, the Ivan Rogov class will be of comparable size to the U.S. Navy's America-class carriers, or the French nuclear-powered carrier Charles de Gaulle. With Russia not having laid down even destroyer or cruiser-sized ships for its navy since the disintegration of the Soviet Union, work on the Ivan Rogov and its sister ship, the Mitrofan Moskalenko, represents the most ambitious surface shipbuilding program in the country in almost 35 years. It has been widely speculated that the Ivan Rogov-class vessels are not intended to be operated purely as helicopter carriers and assault ships, and that, like the U.S. Navy, the Russian Navy plans to deploy fighters with vertical landing capabilities to provide a fixed-wing aviation capability. Officials have repeatedly indicated that such a fighter is under development, although whether it will have fourth or fifth generation capabilities and whether it will be developed jointly with another country remain uncertain. In the late 1980s, the Soviet Union was considered the world leader in the field of vertical landing-capable aircraft, with its Yak-41 and Yak-43 programs, the former which reached an advanced prototype stage, although work on these aircraft was terminated when the state disintegrated. Developing a fighter capability for its two carriers would allow Russia to retire its current aircraft carrier, the Admiral Kuznetsov, which lawmakers have indicated is under consideration due to the difficulties shipyards have faced in maintaining the vessel. Another possibility is that the two new carriers will be fielded alongside the Admiral Kuznetsov, which remains possible due to the significant investments made in refurbishing and modernizing the older vessel. This would provide the Russian Navy with a fleet of 3 carrier warships. What is particularly notable about the warships is their considerable size, with each displacing approximately 44,000 tons according to a senior Defense Ministry official. It is uncertain whether this represents their fully loaded size or not, and with a full complement of aircraft, armored vehicles, naval infantry and weaponry, the ships could displace 46,000 tons or more. To place the size of Russia's new carriers in perspective, the U.S. Navy's Wasp class, which was formerly considered the largest class of assault carrier in the world, displaces approximately 40,000 tons, while its newer America-class ships displace around 45,000 tons each when combat loaded. China's new Type 075 class assault carriers are also thought to displace around 40,000 tons each, while the Mistral and Dokdo class ships produced by France and South Korea respectively displace only around 20,000 tons. The Project 23,900 class thus could potentially be the world's largest assault carrier, heavier than most aircraft carriers including the continental Europe's heaviest, the 40,000-ton Charles de Gaulle, and Japan's heaviest, the 27,000-ton Izumo class. Confirmation of the size of the new Russian ships was provided by Russia's Deputy Defense Minister Alexei Krivoruchko in an interview with the Russian military's official news outlet Krasnaya Zvezda. The size of the ships brings into question whether Russia really intends to operate them purely as helicopter carriers and assault ships, or whether, like the US Navy, it plans to deploy aircraft with vertical landing capabilities from their decks. Officials have repeatedly indicated that such an aircraft is under development, although whether it will have fourth or fifth generation capabilities, and whether it will be developed jointly with another country remain uncertain. Such an aircraft could benefit from new hypersonic air-to-air missiles, air-launched ballistic missiles, AESA radars and other advanced features, which new Russian fighters have benefited from. Even if the Kuznetsov ultimately returns to service, the addition of 2 new big-deck amphibious assault ships would give the Russian Navy an important capability boost in multiple arenas. As TWZ has previously written, ultimately, an amphibious assault ship is potentially much more flexible, even without conventional fixed-wing air power. The Project 23900 is expected to be able to embark 6 landing craft to transport around 75 armored vehicles, 900 troops, and support equipment to a beachhead during an amphibious operation, but the vessels would also be suitable for floating hospitals, or as flagships, for littoral operations. With some modifications, or with a tailored air group on board, these warships could also take on anti-submarine or mine warfare roles. In addition, time and again, amphibious vessels of this kind have also shown their worth in non-combat scenarios, including disaster relief and humanitarian assistance missions. As it stands now, the first Ivan Rogov class ship is not expected to be completed until 2027, 2 years later than originally planned. Even without any disruption to that work from the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, it remains to be seen if Zaliv can keep to that schedule. Crippling US and other international sanctions imposed on Russia after the invasion of Ukraine have had significant impacts on the country's defense and shipbuilding industries, among others. The US government and the European Union have both sanctioned Zaliv explicitly.